Hey guys, Shadney back with another process video, and today we are going to use our Valentine's stuff. This is the very cute collection from Simple Stories from this year. I don't remember the title of it, but like what the collection's called, but it's this year's collection from Simple Stories. And it is very Valentine's-y themed, but I really loved all the colors and the textures and motifs and stuff on this set, so of course I needed it. So, but we are going to use it as a non-Valentine's themed page for today, because honestly, Valentine's Day is just all about love in hearts and how you care for the other person. So I think it is the perfect collection that you can kind of incorporate almost anything for it, like do almost any layout with it, if that makes sense. Sorry. So the first thing I've done is I just grabbed this polka dotted background. I love a good red pattern on pink. So I really love this coral with it's got like a deeper red polka dot, or not polka dot, it's a spot or just a dot because it's kind of scattered dots. Anyways, sorry, not the point. Before I move on too far, I just want to say I went through the cut apart pages, the 12 by 12 cut apart pages, and pulled out all the ones that had these little scattered hearts, and I fussy cut all of those, and then a couple other things, some tags and another piece right there. So I went through and did all my fussy cutting, and then I'm going to go through and pull out all the paper that I think I want to use. So for the background, I just tore that plaid piece so that you see the tear line. I added some washi tape under the edge of that, and then the border strip I ran under that as well. With the border strip, because they are not full 12 by 12, which again is really dumb why they can't just make them 12 by 12. But so I tore it in the middle, and so that it would extend to the sides, the edges, but of course where my photo is going, it will cover up that tear so you won't even notice it. So now I'm just going to go through and start adding some layers behind this photo. You can see that pink right there is actually where I cut some of those hearts out of, so I didn't want to waste it, and it was a great sheet of just pink, so we went ahead and added that in there. Between each layer, I am going through and just running my fingernail across it just to give it some more texture and dimension, and instead of doing like inking each layer, going through and doing it like this will just give it some more dimension around the edges of it. And it'll give you, sorry, that's what I was trying to say, it'll give you a little bit more distinction between each layer, so you can see each layer on its own. So this layer, I did go ahead and tear across the bottom. One thing I will say, when you are adding layers, I've had a lot of people talk about how I layer and how I'm really good at layering and stuff. Really, it's all about adding different things for interest, if that makes sense. If everything's exactly the same, if it's square after square after square and they're all the exact same, it's really boring. There's no variety or difference in it, so there's no variation, so it gets kind of boring. When you are adding layers, of course you want some layers that go completely behind your entire photo and frame out the entire photo, but adding in layers that don't go all the way around each layer, where the paper doesn't go all the way around the edges of each, like that pink paper is off to the edge. That is one way to give interest. Tearing the bottom of, or the side, or all of it, any tearing is a good way to add some extra, what's the word that I just used? Interest. The punches, the border punches, are a great way of adding interest. And then I also like to, like I did just then, run my hand across it, and that gives it that look like it really was torn out of a notebook. And then another way is adding large die cuts. I didn't in this one, but it is a really good way to add a little bit of interest because you're getting a different shape and kind of edge border around what the item is. Oh, this one I will add tags to the layering kind of. So that's kind of similar to that. And then adding in the fun foam for the dimension is also another way to add lots of interest. Not always, but a lot of times I will add my fun foam between the matte layering rather than on the very back to stick to the page, because that sometimes will give you just a little extra differentiation in the layering and just a little bit more interest. So sorry, I just keep saying the word interest over and over and over. So I pulled everything off that page because I didn't want to get black splatter everywhere, all over everything. And then I just used the Heidi Swap Color Shine in black. I think it's just called black. It might be called something different. And just splattered in a diagonal from bottom left to top right. Just to give it a little bit something on the background. I use black because this collection does have a good amount of black in it. Not a lot, but like a good sprinkling in it. But also because on the background, everything was so colorful. I felt like almost any other color wouldn't really stand out on that background. So the black, I thought, kind of tied everything in together really well. I went in and added some craft doilies to behind the photo, and I added 2 just because the doilies are small, and I felt like I don't know, it just was too small for the photo, so I added 2 so it felt a little bit more balanced out. Sorry. And then I'm also, with the tags, I'm going through and running my finger around them just like I did the other layouts. No, not layouts, layers. Sorry. And then I will go in and add twine again. I mean, as well. I don't know. I think one video I forgot to add twine during the video, but I go back and add it later. So I can't remember if it's this one or if there's another one. But I will eventually forget, but I always go back. I don't like, what does Sandy call them? Naked tag holes. State Goddess Sandy Reversky, something like that. Sorry, butchering her name. She always says we can't have naked tag holes, and she is so absolutely right, and I totally agree with that. So no naked tag holes. Yeah, sorry, I'm on a rant, what's the word? I don't know, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not used to voiceover. I haven't done it in weeks. So anyways, I'm going through and I start adding these hearts from all of the fussy cut pieces that I did from the cut aparts. And before anything, I want to go in and add my title just because it's going to take up a good amount of room. I don't want to add a bunch of embellishment and then lose my title space. So just in general, for myself at least, I always go largest pieces to smallest pieces. So usually your photos first, and then you move down to like your title and journaling, stuff like that, down to the last little sprinkly bits at the very end, because you don't want to lose your space. Your space for your large pieces. So I added my title, and then I'm going to go in and add these little hearts around that. I also added this little match. I think it's You're My Perfect Match. It was also a cut apart, but I fussy cut it out just because I thought it was cute, but I didn't want the whole big 3x4, 4x6, whatever size it was card. So the photos that I'm doing here, one photo is me and my aunt, and we always do what's called Girls' Day. We several years ago, when India was little, we took a trip, just a day trip. We drove down to Dallas and went to IKEA, or Frisco. It's now near Dallas, which is like 3 hours away. And it was just her and I and India. And so we always talked about Girls' Day. That was Girls' Day. And oh no, actually, the very first Girls' Day, India was maybe a year old, or maybe a little over a year. And I played hooky from work, and I was like mentally not okay and just could not do it. So I called in and said I wasn't feeling well, which I wasn't. I was mentally not feeling well, but I didn't get into all that. And we went and spent the day at the big mall that's about 45 minutes away from us. The three of us. So that was our first Girls' Day. So anyways, it's a running joke that we have Girls' Day, and India likes to sing Girls' Day, and India's favorite, and she goes, Girls' Day, no naps, because she's trying to get away with not having any naps. She doesn't have naps anyways nowadays, but at the time, obviously, she was little, and India fought naps so bad. So anyways, so this Girls' Day was over Martin Luther King Jr.'s day. Everyone was out of school, and she works for the school, so she was off school. And we left India at home with Phil, and we got up early and went and had breakfast at the diner down in Norman. If you are ever need a breakfast place, especially like those awesome little hole-in-the-wall diners, the diner in Norman, Oklahoma is amazing. They are teeny tiny little hole in the wall. Literally the whole building is maybe 10 feet wide all the way down. And they've got booths and like counter seats, and their food is great. It's just a super fun time, and she'd never been. So we went and did that, and it was actually surprisingly hardly anyone there because we went super early. So we got great seats, and there was no one around us. It was amazing. And then we went and did shopping. We just went to several. We went to Target and Tuesday Morning and Joann's, and I think Old Navy. Yes. So anyways, that was our Girls' Day this time, and we didn't take India because Mama needed a break. So, but it was nice and fun. And yeah, so that is pretty much the layout. I'm just still going in and adding a little bit more goodies in here. That heart that I just add down there at the bottom, and I trim part of it off, it's a waffle. It looks like a waffle, so I thought it was perfect because we had breakfast. Neither one of us ate waffles, but it was perfect because breakfast. So, and sorry, that was Chewy. I just kind of sat on him a little bit. It's okay. So when I'm going through and adding all these little stickers and stuff, I am adding some flat, but I'm also using Stampin' Dimensionals to add some of them so that they pop up just a little bit. Stampin' Dimensionals is Stampin' Up's version of foam dots. They're hexagon shaped, and they're just under 1/2 inch, like corner to corner, so that they fit perfectly. They are the perfect size for my little epoxy sprinkles. There for a little bit, I was a demonstrator for Stampin' Up, but I let that lapse out because I didn't really spin enough or sell enough or whatever. But Stampin' Dimensionals are one thing that I will always order from Stampin' Up. They are amazing. They're super, super sticky. They're very thin so that you get just enough layering that you can add several different levels. So you could add 1 to one piece and 2 to another, so that if you wanted different heights, you could add different heights. But also, if you don't like a lot of dimension, but you want a little bit, you don't want your pages to get too thick, you can add just a single layer, and it gives you just the perfect amount of height just to pop it up just a tiny bit. And you get a ton on the page. There's no waste for the packaging, and even the outside, like the bones of the outside of it, is very easy to use, and you've seen me use a million times. So And they come in 2 sizes. There's the mini, which is teeny tiny, and then this size is the regular size. I am not a demonstrator, so I don't have a link or anything. I'm sorry. But if you have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you like and you're interested in the Stampin' Dimensionals, I highly suggest or recommend them. Then lastly, I am going through and I add my journaling around the edge of the page just to kind of give it a little border, and because there wasn't a whole lot of space left to add it. And then across the bottom I just did sketchy lines so that it just looked the same all the way around. It looked finished, even though I didn't have any more journaling to add. Oh, I do. I go back and add baker's twine to my tags, and that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe if you want to see more. Leave me a comment and tell me anything you want. I don't know. I can't think of a question right now. My brain's not there. So, thank you. Have a wonderful day and happy scrapping. Bye.